Good afternoon. Dateline, January 31st, 2012. This is Nick Nicholas on behalf of Mining Interactive. I'm here today with Michael Hudson, who is the President and CEO of Mawson Resources. We at Mining Interactive have represented Mawson since it was first listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange in late 2004. In 2009, it landed the jewel in the crown, the Rumpus Bonanza gold uranium project in Finland, with grades that were previously really unheard of anywhere in the world, such as gold at 22,700 grams a ton, in other words, an elephant. I have with me today, here in the studio, Michael Hudson, the President and CEO of Mawson. Michael, welcome.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much for having me again.
Do I understand correctly, Michael, that you're going to be presenting your shareholders with dividends?
Nick, thank you very much. Well, what we've got is basically a 3-for-1 going on in Mawson today. We have what we are doing to create a spin-out of our Peruvian assets into a separate listed company called Darwin Resources Corp on the Venture Exchange. And we've also dividending out our shareholding in Tornigan, which will create a focus on the Rumpus project, that key project that we have. So a focus on Rumpus, one of the most exciting gold discoveries in the world today at a very early stage, but something that's looking very attractive, and we need to focus on that, all our resources and our funding, and the two companies that shareholders will benefit in.
So Michael, give me somewhat of a summary on each scenario that you are now in the planning stages of.
Well, Nick, as I just said, Rumpus looks like it's one of the most exciting gold discoveries in the world today. The grades, the scale of this system over 6 kilometres, you mentioned some of the grades before, we're literally talking hundreds, thousands and tens of thousands of grams gold and up to many percent uranium. That project will soon be coming to drilling. Now, I can't tell you today when we will be drilling, but the point is imminent. We're working towards that. The permits were granted in October last year, and we're going through a standard appeal process now, which we hope to see a decision on one way or the other in March. If the appeals aren't deemed to be valid to be heard further, we will be drilling from March. If at least one of the 5 appeals that we have against the project are deemed to be valid, then it will go through the court system. And we're looking at other alternatives on how we should be drilling that project within the boundaries of the Mining Act. So really exciting there, and that project really speaks for itself. Number 2 is the Tornigan spin out, if you like. Mawson shareholders now own 20.5% of Tornigan, which will be rebadged as European Uranium Resources, the key go-to uranium company in the backyard of the largest per capita users of uranium in the world. We vended our Swedish and Finnish non-core uranium assets to Tornigan. Tornigan has a fantastic asset in Slovakia, a project just coming through the pre-feasibility stage. The pre-feasibility will be due out in early February, and then they'll go fast track through into the feasibility stage this year. Mawson's major shareholder, Areva, has come on side with Tornigan to partner them. They are now a 10% holder of that stock, and the Tornigan stock, as well as the rename, will be rolled back 5-1. So a very well structured company, great partner, great assets through Europe, and Mawson shareholders will enjoy a 20.5% of that company distributed into their hands, subject to their approval on March 30th, our shareholder meeting. And thirdly, Nick, we have the Darwin Resources Corp story, which is a spin-out of Mawson's Peruvian assets. The key project there is El Tocamado, but it is a set of earlier stage copper-gold projects, but with huge upside. And we've got some major shareholders in Mawson that will be supporting that company also. So that will become a project acquisition company and will become a very different company, I think, in the next 6 to 12 months, but with a very good start. And the key thing is that we've got a great management team in place, and we have Dr. Graham Carman here today, who I've worked with over the last 15 years. He's a very experienced geologist and been in the junior sector for the last 10 years, and is a great addition to Darwin and Darwin's shareholders. So I think, Nick, that I've said enough about Darwin, and I'd like to introduce Graham Carman, and he can tell you more about Darwin. So welcome, Graham.
Thanks very much, Mike. I'm really excited to be heading up Darwin Resources. Mike and I worked on several projects which are close to development today, I'm looking forward to recreating that same success again.
Well, thank you very much, Graham. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to great things from Darwin Resources in Latin America. Thanks again. Michael? These are two great spin-outs, the one to European uranium, to your shareholders, and then as well as the Darwin spin-out. Now, is there any timeline there? I understand that your AGM and special meeting to finally set the date of record is sometime at the end of March, is it?
Nick, the specific timing is that our AGM is on March 30, and the date has not been set yet, but it'll be sometime in early April that a Mawson shareholder will need to have hold a share, the record date, hold that share on the record date to benefit in these two spin-outs.
Michael, to you, your management team, and all of your directors, thank you very much for continually creating shareholder value for all of us Mawson shareholders. And Michael, I thank you very much for being here today, and I hope to see you again soon.
A pleasure, Nick. Thank you.
This is Nick Nicholas on behalf of Mining Interactive. And as always, stay tuned. There's much, much more to come from Mawson.